Ang topic natin ngayon is learning how to negotiate, no? Renegotiate pala the contracts. Now, ang presumption sa renegotiation of contracts is that you can renegotiate the contract when they expire. No? That is the presumption. But, ang mga mabubuting contracts have very clear terms and therefore, malinaw kailan mag-expire and renegotiation is possible. But how about contracts which are in nature perpetual? So, tignan mo. Look at the term of the contract. Nakalagay dyan, one is, this contract is for a term of 5 years, renewable at the option of the buyer. Aron, hindi mag-expire yan. This contract is for a term of 5 years, renewable at the option of either party. Mahirap din yan i-terminate. And then nakalagay pa doon that before the termination of the 5th year, you must renegotiate the contract. And kung lalampas na yung date of expiration and nagne-negotiate pa, you have to continue delivering the product or bananas to the buyer until a new contract is signed. So walang expiration yan. That's the situation of Harbco. At itong mga itong dalawang co-ops din doon. Because sa kalaki ng utang nila at palaki ang utang, as long as they have debt sa kumpanya, patuloy silang mag-deliver ng saging. So, kailan mag-expire yan? Kumpanya nagpapatakbo sa banana plantation, they are the buyers of the banana, they are producing. Lahat na gasto, nilagay sa co-op. So, ang utang nila palaki ng palaki. Therefore, the contract will never expire. So, sa mga ganitong cooperative, there is no renegotiation to speak of. Assuming ma-renegotiate na ang contract, no? May mga preliminaries na kailangan nating gawain. Now, during the implementation ng contract, which is due to expire, you must take into consideration the conflicts that have come up during the implementation of the contracts. So ano yung mga problemang yon? So they have to be documented para when you come to renegotiate the contract, they can be addressed. And then, ano yung mga problems outside the contemplation of the contract na nangyari in the course of implementing yung contract? One is mga operational matters na hindi nakalagay sa kontrata but they have become problems in the implementation of the contract. And then, yung price and demand swings in the market. Alam mo ngayon, erratic na ang presyo, hindi kagaya noon. Whenever the China buyers come here, from January to March or April, mataas ang presyo. But after that, when they have, they also harvest their bananas in China, which is the biggest plantation in the world, no? Maghinto na silang magbili. So, ano mangyari? Pole vaulting, so mataas ang presyo. So, ginagawa ng ibang kumpanya dyan noon was to adjust the price. Ang iba naman ngayon is no longer to adjust the price, but bigyan mo na ng mataas na presyo so that at the end of the year, you total your income mataas kaysa nagpabili ka sa mga fly-by-night buyers. And then, mga pests and diseases. Ngayon, Moco and Panama disease are prevalent pests and diseases sa market. Sigatoka, ganun din. Now, these are problems na iba-iba ang karakter nito, and they badly affect production. So ano ang gawin nito in the next negotiation? So ano yung experiences mo in the past? See to it that ma-address mo ito when you renegotiate the contract. And then, climate change. Drought, extreme rainfall, this will create problem in pests and diseases and productivity. So, ito ay mga dapat i-consider in preparing the contract. So, as we prepare for the renegotiation, one is we have to review the provisions of the term of the contract. One, if the contract is perpetual, para makarenegotiate ka when the contract expires, is for you to file an early amendment or annulment of that provision in the contract. Because if you don't, ang mangyari dyan is hindi ka maka-renegotiate ng contract. Now, if it is not perpetual, kung pwede ka mag-renegotiate, you have to decide whether i-renew mo ba o hindi ang kontrata. So, if you decide not to renew the contract, anong mangyari? First, bisaya pa, maniguro ka. Nga doon na kay kabalhinan. Kay muhawa ka man dire, so kinsa ba imong buyer? And you have to find a better alternative buyer than your present buyer. And in so doing, siguraduhin mo na makapagkontrata ka sa nila. I think there has to be some advanced pakikiusap sa kanila para malaman mo kung makapagkontrata ka sa kanila. Pangalawa is, tignan mo rin, ano ang corporate ethic ng kumpanya? Is this company's practice in the implementation of the contract ethical or not? Yan ang isang bagay na tignan because yung pagkontrata at pagpapatupad ng kontrata is also dependent on the corporate ethic ng kumpanya. Kung masama ang corporate ethic nila, talaga masama all the way. Ganon. So, I'd like to compare two buyers. No? Itong isang buyer, mahusay. No? Kung may problema ka sa kanila, after you have signed the contract, and then naging problema sa mga beneficiaries, at kausapin mo sila, magkaroon ng dialogue between the company and the beneficiaries, minsan nase-set aside yung kontrata at humahanap ng paraan na ma-resolve ang problema. But here's another buyer na malinaw sa contract na ganito sinasabi, but may problema. So, all the company has to say to end the discussion is, that is what is in the contract. So be it. That has to prevail, whether you like it or not. Now, I tried to understand what is the difference. Now, in one gathering where yung president nila was a speaker, that was during our signing of the contract. Sabi niya, what are contracts? Contract should serve merely as guide for the parties in the relationship. But when there are situations which call for a response outside the bounds of the contract, you set aside the contract and look for ways to find a win-win solution. So that is the corporate ethic. And that was premised with sa Christian principle of love. Ganon. Okay? Tignan mo rin, ano ang standing ng buyer na ito sa global market. Kaya minsan, maraming beneficiaries na are attracted to the very high price na i-quote sa kanila. No? When we were renegotiating the contract dito sa Unifruti, may isang kumpanya na nagbigay ng proposal. Mataas ang proposal. But if you examine that contract, maraming ifs and buts na in the end, lugi. Kagaya ng isang contract, we were having that congressional hearing, sabi ng buyer, tinaas na namin ang presyo sa ganito na price. So sabi ng member ng Congress, tinaas naman pala eh. Ganito na ang presyo nila. So ano pa ang problema? But if you analyze, the average price is, kung sinabi nilang 4, the average price is less than $3. Lugi pa rin ang beneficiaries. So, observe the provisions regarding the process of renegotiation. So, kahit na ayaw mo makipagkuan, but makipagkontrata sa kanila, but you still have to go through the process of negotiation. Just comply with that. Kasi may right of first refusal sila, and you have to comply with that. But then, alam mo na hindi ka tutuloy na makipagkontrata, so you have to seek an early end of the negotiation. But kung makipagkontrata ka, well and good. Now, in the renegotiation na nangyari, in the case of Unifruti, our first contract was for 5 years, and then nung i-renew, actually, sa background na lang ako, because the beneficiaries knew better. Sila na ang humarap. All I did was to stay in the background and supply the support that they needed. Our office also helped them sa economics ng proposal nila, which they back up with data and statistics at nakatulong sa negotiation. At their representatives in the negotiating table were very good negotiators. So, ang role ng negotiator dyan, speaking of ourselves, is nagiging lang tayo, minimal figures, because the ball is in the hands of the beneficiaries. And that is better. So, malaki yung improvement from the previous contract sa bagong contract nila. So, dyan, identify what shall be retained or not retained. Ano yung mga problematic provisions. I-amend, i-delete yung mga problematic provisions. Improve existing provisions. And then, also, you propose new terms and conditions, set the goals for the negotiation, and draw strategy and tactics. Sa negotiation proper, well, of course, you have to come up with a formal proposal for renewal, and then you go on to establish the ground rules for the negotiation, and then submission ng proposal at counter-proposal. And then i-develop the issues and non-issues for negotiation based on the proposals and counter-proposal. That's narrowing down the issues. So walang conflict dito, ito lang ang conflict natin. So there are yung may conflict, there are major and minor issues. So i-prioritize yung discussion doon to simplify ang takbo ng negotiation. So kailangan yung major issues, you should have supporting data, statistics, sound economics, backed up by experiences in the course of the implementation of the contract. And then, natural, there will be trade-offs, compromises, para mapabuti mo ang kontrata mo. Try in an attempt to reach your goal sa negotiation. Dapat i-review ang minutes. Bahalaga itong minutes. Because sometimes, kung walang minutes, sabihin lang isa, ganito yung agreement, sabihin nila, hindi ganyan. But if the minutes are there, that will settle the issue. Now, maaring may deadlocks, no, in the negotiation. So, dito kailangan ng cooling off period. Here is where the parties must come to an equal footing in terms of finding a win-win solution. And then may mga backdoor negotiations. Kasi kung sa negotiation na maraming tao dyan, may tendency na mag-grandstand or mag-hardline. Pero kung backdoor, iilang tao lang, at yung buyer, baka mas madali. And this has happened oftentimes. But in so doing, kailangan may transparency. No? Dapat alam ng mga kasama mo sa negotiating table that there is going to be a backdoor negotiation. And then, ano yung mga issues na pag-usapan na dapat malaman din nila, although they will not be around during that backdoor negotiation. Ayan, may mga last-minute deals. And then, ang huling pag-usapan is ang signing bonus. Huwag mo yan ilagay sa harap because that might compromise a lot of things. And then, sum up the result sa negotiation, and then hold pre- and post-negotiation assessments. Palagi yan, dapat every after negotiation, magkaroon na ang panel ng assessment. And then, mahalaga ito. Kailangan ma-update ang mga member sa takbo ng negotiation. No? That is very important. And then, drafting the final copy of the contract, then ratification of the contract by the members. Hindi pipirmahan ang kontrata hanggat hindi na-ratify ng mga members. At during the ratification, you have to explain provision by provision, especially mga nagbago na provision. At yung pagbigay ng consent is not just viva voce. Meron talagang pirmahan sila na document saying that they affirm, support, and approve of the results of the negotiation. Ganon. And then kung meron na yan, of course, review the final copy of the contract before signing. Na finalize na yung copy, but you are now in the venue where you sign the contract, kailangan before pirmahan yung contract, basahin na naman by the panel. Tignan kung may nagbago ba. Baka may mga insertions. Alam mo, hindi lang Congress ang mahalaga sa insertions. Minsan nangyayari yan. And then magtaka ka na lang na, hindi itong pinag-usapan na. Why did that happen? Because hindi mo binasa yung contract. So, ganon. Minsan ginagawa ko dyan para mabilis is nandito yung final, yung copy, and then dito yung sign-on. Tignan mo lang yung saan nag-end yung sentence. It falls under the same word sa doon. Walang nabawas, walang nadagdag. No? Pero ipabasa mo yan sa lahat sa kanila when they say, yes, okay, pirma tayo. And then, pagkatapos ng pirma, of course, distribution na ng signing bonus. That's the last, and so, of course, celebration. Ganon. Thank you.